Hi guys, I'm going to be showing you 100 of the nails I did over the past couple of years and giving you insights on how I did each one. The first set I'm going to show you is this one. I got the reference picture off of Pinterest. It didn't have the thumbs in, so I did make them up, but the rest of it is pretty much just a blatant copy. I used a lot of isolating chrome and blooming gel, which I'm showing you on this one. For the blooming gel, I apply a top coat over whatever design I've already done. Then I add a coat of blooming gel, and whilst it's wet, I'll apply spots of the colour gel using the blotting tool. In this specific one, I didn't cover the full nail in blooming gel, as the amount of diffusion on each row would be different, so that whichever one I put on the dots first would have more time to diffuse than whichever one I put it on last, so it would just look uneven. So that's why I worked from right to left and did just 3 streaks of blooming gel. I put it under the UV lamp just to set it in place, and then I applied a shiny top coat followed by a matte top coat. I don't think you need the shiny top coat, but I just wanted to make sure the pattern was sealed. So after applying the matte top coat, I used a thin brush to apply the shiny top coat onto parts of the nail that I wanted the chrome to be. I then wiped off the excess chrome and then applied a top coat, and it was all sealed in. This next one, whilst the design looks quite complex, the process is actually very simple. I applied the spots using the blotting tool and added 3D gel in the middle, which gives the nail more dimension. The rest of these are just using the same processes, so the explanation should be short. This one also had some small iridescent sheet things I'd found in an old resin kit, which gave the nail some shine and a pop of moving colour. Here are some close-ups of each nail. These ones contain real dried flowers. This next set is a Tim Burton inspired set that I did. I did actually make these up, so these aren't on Pinterest, but the coloured bits are also colour changing, and here's a video of that. This is the brand that I use, and they have a bunch of other colours too. And here are the close-ups. I do love this next set. I am missing a nail though. It's a summer theme, even though I did wear it for my Christmas nail set. Almost all these nails use 3D gel, especially the banana. It makes up the seedy part of these oranges and adds to the texture. I was on holiday and I actually forgot to bring the top coat for some of these nails, so the one on the right, I actually used a thin coat of 3D gel, and it kind of gives it a more rustic look. You can also see this with the sardine can next to it. I love this banana. You don't see a lot of nails like it, but the only thing is I applied the 3D gel quite thick because you have to with this. That it reduced the flexibility, so when I was wearing it on my finger it started to hurt quite a bit, so I just keep that in mind when you're applying it so thickly. The rest of them, the process is kind of the same, so here are some close-ups. One more thing to note though is with this one, I used brush strokes to create the ombre. I do have a different tool for that which uses sponges. I'll show you that now. I find it best to start with the gel polish on your nail and then dab it around. It is quite transparent, so you do need to layer up. So I wouldn't actually apply it to the brush from my experience because it doesn't apply thick enough, so just keep that in mind. Moving on to individual nails, this one's one of my favourites, a Claude Monet inspired nail, just done by loads of teeny brush strokes. This one's called Christmas Cat, and it's probably my most detailed nail ever. It's a cat wrapped in fairy lights on a wooden floor, and I just think it's so adorable. You may have seen these few from Pinterest. I didn't like them when I first did them, but looking back they actually were quite nice. The star, there's a bit of ombre there just to make it look like it's glowing, but overall these are quite simple. These are my sister's set, or some of them from my sister's set from prom. They were quick because she only gave me less than a day's notice, but it's all good. Just ombre, some isolating chrome, but it didn't really work, so I just used glitter gel. I quite like how they turned out. This next set I actually really love. They're not complex at all, they're really simple. So if you want, I can do a tutorial on how to do them for beginners. But I love them so much. I don't know, just the contrasting of the colours with just a simple design in the middle. I thought they were really cute. And the blue ones are actually colour changing. I'll show you some photos of that. This set was going to be my holiday set, but I never finished it. I still think they're quite pretty though. Pink and white colour scheme, very summery. Yeah, I quite liked them. The actual set that I ended up using though were these ones. They're really nice. I really liked the red kind of citronous nails. I just love the feeling of it. It's a really nice texture. Yeah, lots of 3D gel used, but quite a simple set. This one's really cute. It's like a picnic rug set. No, not a set, there's only one. Yeah, I didn't finish this one either, but it goes nicely with a couple of the single ones that I've done. That one you've seen, that's the Claude Monet one, and I'll show you the duck one. Onto some of my blooming gel nails. These were strictly just to kind of practice blooming gel. On the right, there's one that's got a bit of a duller colour scheme. This was the first one that I did, but it ended up looking like an agar plate with bacteria. So one of my friends suggested a brighter colour scheme, which is the one on the left, which I think works more well, and it's kind of more of a summery set as well. This is part of a set that I did. I had to use a toothpick though, because this was before I got the brushes, so it's quite messy, but I still think they turned out quite nice. I love this next set. They're just a bunch of bugs on, yeah, just a bunch of bugs. I love them so much just because you can use so many colours and it doesn't look like overloaded or out of place, because naturally there's going to be so many colours. I just love them. They look funky, and yeah, they were really fun. I'd love to do a set like it again. A lime, just like the red nail you saw before. Yeah, 3D gel used. I love this style of nail. I love a lot of things to do with nails, it turns out. But yeah, no, I do love this style of nail, and I will be using it a lot more in the future. Super simple nail, part of my McLaren set. Yes, that is my favourite Formula 1 team. I just wanted to add it in there. Yeah, my first ever go at a press-on. I didn't like it at the time though, and these ones were from school. This one isn't finished, but I wanted to add it in just to show you like what chrome does. So this isn't as obvious as silver and gold, but it just adds that iridescent-y kind of glow. And you can get some, like I'm going to show you here. You can get some with slightly different colours. So this one's obviously different. It's pink. I get them from Amazon, and they come in quite small quantities, but they go a long way. So you can see where I've used it here. Just gives it that metallic look. So this is the one I used on that nail. Yeah, so you can see it's just slightly different iridescent colours compared to, well, not this one, this one's silver, but compared to, okay, this one's gold, compared to these last two, which are a lot more subtle. So that's got a pink kind of glow to it, and this one's just more neutral. Yeah, they're good for like basing the colours. I don't think that makes sense, but they're good for adding the initial base, and then you draw on top of it those more subtle ones. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, they're good. I use this to add them on. You just kind of dab it and like rub it on, and then use a brush to just sweep it off. But I explained that earlier, that's when you're like isolating chrome. Here are the few individual ones I was on about before together. I think they go quite well. And these last two in there, they're like red blooming gel. This is good to show you like what blooming gel does and what it looks like. Yeah, I quite like these. They're simple, but they're good. They're cool. This is the whole of my sister's prom nail set. This is the whole of my sister's friend's prom nail set. And this is one more. Yeah, all three I think are really cute, and they go well with their dresses. I did a Studio Ghibli inspired set for one of my sister's friends who also does nails now, which is cool. Yeah, I was obsessed with this, and the Starry Night nail, or I call it the Starry Night nail, but I love it as well. I love this set so much. These were Halloween nails that I did for my sister. The designs are quite simple, but there was stuff like the cobweb and the spiral that were actually quite hard. I recommend just using like a really thin brush. I thought these ones were quite pretty, but I did nibble the 3D gel off, so they didn't last long. One of my favourite things to like paint, like painting wise or like nail wise, is koi fish. I don't know, they're just so gorgeous. So this was a set inspired by them. I had done this before because, like I said, I loved koi fish. Yeah, I still really like them. I like the gold with them. Yeah, they're really pretty. Now for the brands and everything that I use. So these are from Amazon. They're good long ones. These are see-through long ones, also from Amazon, and these are from America, which are just shorter tips. I only really use the 4 kind of groups to the right, but even then they're big, as I'm showing you here. And these are great for if you want to do a pedicure that pokes holes in your socks because they're so big. Cuticle pusher just helps prep your nail before adding the press-ons to increase like surface area on your nail. And then this is the nail glue that I use. It's from Primark. It actually works really well. So I am applying a small dot of the glue and then holding it firmly down so that it's secure. You only really need a small dot because it'll just spread out when you press your nail down, and this glue is actually really good. It lasts quite a long time. I repeated the process obviously for each of the nails, and look how sturdy they are. They're really good on, they won't fall off, and that's how you apply the glue. Onto where I get the gel polishes from. These are all from Amazon. That's the black one I use, this is Blooming Gel, and this is the white one that I use. This one I use for the majority of the colours, because we got like a pack of 20. These are, oh yeah, not very nice. No, these are nice though. They're for nude colours. I got the set for, and same as these ones. They've been working really well recently. None of these have peeled. I know that a lot of people have had that in the past, but it may be the product, or it may be like you're not filing the nail before you apply it, so there's no grip. These next ones, I bought a red set. I think they're from Amazon, but you'll see that in a bit. The colour for this is so gorgeous. It's like a blood red kind of colour. I'm showing you now. Yeah, so gorgeous. I'd recommend these. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, this is my first video about nails. I really appreciate you watching this. And yeah, if you want any tutorials on any of the nails that I've done, I'd be more than happy to do them because I've got so much spare time at the moment. But yeah, just tutorials about anything or just kind of questions I'll answer. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.